So this one is a little bit odd because so our author is called Anna Sargoras. Looking at the list of SCPs that they wrote, the SCP we're about to read is not on there, which is a little bit odd to me, but it is theirs apparently. The last one we had of Anna Sargoras was also quite a while ago, 1909, which let me check which one that is. 1909. Oh yeah, 1909 is the SCP where anybody who has the name Alexander, they will become possessed by a spirit of a past Alexander. Like I think it's one Alexander from the past who keeps like possessing other Alexander. It's supposed to be like Alexander the Great, possessing every next Alexander in a generation, to not in his own family, just a Alexander, so that he can stay alive and then be immortal in a way or another. But that was a while back, damn. Well, hey, Anna Sargoras, you wrote Moon Snakes. Alright, here we go. Object class Euclid. SCP-2762 is currently irretrievable without phenomenal resource expenditure. Until an affordable method for locating and retrieving it without compromising secrecy is proposed, physical containment of SCP-2762 is to be considered unnecessary. Containment of SCP-2762 activation events and the resulting instance of -1 is to be effected by the United States Secret Service. Pursuant to the relevant treaties between the United States government and the Foundation personnel are prohibited from interfering with the containment efforts, though approved agents and researchers may be present up to twice a year in an observational role. The United States government will inform the Foundation of any changes to SCP-2762 anomalous properties. Should SCP-2762 be retrieved and its targeting changed in the US government has agreed to cede control of it to the Foundation. In this event, SCP-2762 is to be contained in a cubic container no less than 5 meters on the side. It is to be suspended in the middle of the chamber, and the remaining space will fill with water or some other non-hazardous liquid. After each 2762 activation event, the container is to be refilled. Most information in this description has been shared with the Foundation in compliance with the Foundation USA Information Sharing Treaty. Independent cooperation has been found for most claims within. By the way, guys, I think I'm gonna have to do something I haven't done ever, because I never did this to begin with. I never like streamed with a migraine. But I think we're gonna read half the SCPs today, and then I will have to call it a day because I'm starting to get nauseous. I will read the other 5 offline, and it's gonna be I will I don't know, either upload the other 5 to Twitch so that people who usually see all 10 will have it available for a couple months on Twitch before it vanishes, or you have to wait till like 2026 to see what the other SCPs are, because right now I'm gonna read till like 2764, so that way we have read half of it at least, and then I personally feel okay with just leaving it at that, because I don't think I can read all of it today. I want to go to bed early and try to sleep this migraine off and actually catch enough hours of sleep. And also the camera and the technical difficulties is getting on my nerves. Yeah, no, the cuts are more fully understandable. Like today is just not my day for streaming. Summer, man, summer to be different. But I'll see. I hope the next 2 ones are not too long. But let's just continue for now. SCP-2762 is a stone carved into the shape of a snake weaving over itself into a tight ball, approximately 14 centimeters in diameter. The snake's head is visible near the top and is highly stylized. It shows moderate wear, consistent with an estimated age of 500 years. SCP-2762 is visually similar to other non-anomalous sculptures associated with ancient Mesoamerican cultures. The purpose of these sculptures is unknown, but they are believed to be associated with lunar festivals celebrating the rebirth of the moon from darkness. SCP-2762 is covered in carved runes, some resembling simplified pre-Columbian Nahuatl and others similar to those found in Minoan artifacts. It is believed that these were added after the object's original creation and that they control its function. Testing by groups outside the Foundation's influence has found SCP-2762 to be unaffected by intense heat pressure, corrosive substances, or proximity to explosion of any magnitude. Every full moon at solar midnight, for the target of SCP-2762, a 2762 activation event occurs. This time, SCP-2762 begins to vibrate, and a green luminescence appears on the surface. SCP-2762 then begins to draw in all nearby matter through an unknown means. The vacuum force intensifies until it has consumed approximately 10 cubic meters of non-gaseous matter. At this point, all matter absorbed by SCP-2762 in the activation event is disgorged in the form of an instance of -1 via a portal which appears in an open space near the current President of the United States. Okay. Instance of -1 resembles snakes approximately 17 meters in length. That's pretty long. That's extremely long. They demonstrate the material properties of a homogeneous amalgam of all substances absorbed during the activation event. I see. -1 are fully animate and attempt to kill and consume the President of the United States. They may be rendered inanimate by inflicting sufficient damage and also lose all anomalous properties at the dawn after the activation event. Due to the location of SCP-2762, all instances of -1 are made of cement-like compacted regolith. SCP-2762 is currently located on the moon as a result of a failed attempt to negate its anomalous properties by the United States Secret Service. It was believed that since 2762 activation events occur based on the phase of the moon, removing it from Earth would remove phases of the moon as a valid parameter for activation. However, SCP-2762 proved to use the target's location rather than its own, so the 2762 activation event continued unabated. That's a shame. They're like, oh, we can handle it. Listen, if it's all about, you know, it trying to reach full moon and that's why it happens, why not just send it to the... If I were them, I would have sent this statue to the sun, right? Because then the sun would have potentially destroyed it, and then they wouldn't have to worry about the activation event no more. Sending it on the moon feels like the chance of it activating non-stop was also there, you know? However, of course you agree. However, SCP-2762 approved to use the targets. Okay, yeah. SCP-2762's precise location on the moon is unknown due to the impossibility of affixing tracking devices to it for an extended duration and its consumption of large amounts of lunar soil every month. Recovery is therefore unlikely. Interview 16. In early 2009, the Foundation was able to contact Boris Vetrov, a former member of the Psychotronics division of the GRU. Though Mr. Vetrov was living in the United States at the time, it is believed the United States government was unaware of his involvement in the creation of SCP-2762. As Mr. Vetrov has shown no signs of involvement in the anomalous world for the 20 years since his immigration to the United States, he has been judged of little interest, save as a historical consulting source for GRU activation during the Cold War. Foundation outreach personnel were able to schedule an interview between Mr. Vetrov and Dr. Edward Wilson, project head for Mesoamerican history. Good afternoon, Mr. Vetrov. Good afternoon to you as well, Doctor. You may address me as Boris if you like. Thank you. You're familiar with the menu then? What's best? I would suggest the biscotti. This is not Starbucks. 1 minute then. Alright. Mr. Petrov, I'd like to discuss the artifact with you. You say you were involved in its creation. Correct. Well, not all of that it is. Not all of what it is today. To begin, we didn't put it on the moon, but when the Directorate held it, it was Alexei, Marat, Iskra, and myself who altered it. Let's see. In what ways did you and the crew alter the artifact? Actually, just me asking here. Why are you comfortable giving your coworkers names? I'll do all that now. If they are to be held to account for the part in this, it is to judge for far grander than any it is by a judge far grander than any in Washington or time was not as kind to them as it was to me, but neither was the collapse. I can tell you how we altered the snake stone, but you should know that we were not the first to modify it. Oh. One of our agents, none of the psychotronics divisions, we were researchers. An agent of the GRU in Mexico, I cannot read at all. On some errand I don't think I was clear to know what it was. He found a cell of revolutionaries who had the object. They had been intending to topple Mexico and install a true communist regime, which was all very nice, but the agent believed that the snake stone and some unlucky revolutionary would be better off serving the USSR more directly. They were targeting Mexican political figures then? So you're saying you just changed the target? If you can recover the thing, you mean we could shift it away from the president? You're getting ahead of yourself, Doctor. Back then, all it did was pull in matter and emit a snake. No distance, no target, for that matter. A much smaller snake. And I never did understand precisely what those little Bolsheviks plan to do. Perhaps they intend to modify it further. Or perhaps... Oh god. Perhaps they had other artifacts and our agents left too soon. Modify it further. When first the revolutionaries found the snake stone, it was a million artifact of some old Aztec cult. I have to actually look what the temperature is outside, because maybe it could also be that the aircon has caused me to get a migraine as well, because having aircon on for a long period of time can give you a headache, because it's just not natural air, right? I'm just checking if the temperature is like comfortable enough for me to have the window open instead and sleep well. Sorry, where was I? Modified further. When first the revolutionists found the snake stone, it was merely an artifact of some old Aztec cult for celebrating the rebirth of the moon or such. Well, yeah, the moon. In a lot of Aztec mythology, the moon is one of the... Like, there are multiple gods that are connected to the moon. There's Ixchel, there's Awilix, there's Xbalanque, like, yeah. So, the Aztecs really love worship, like, not love worship, but they worship the moon quite a lot. For celebrating the rebirth of the moon or such, if anointed with oil or blood under the new moon, it would draw it in and form a snake from the mouth of the statue. Smaller still, barely larger than your finger. How do you know this? From the poor revolutionary, though we approved of the cause, the crew got the information from him the same way as from any other. We were not kind, I'm certain. I much prefer your way. I'd be inclined to agree, so that's what the thing did to start with. Alright. If I had to guess, I'd say the thing that started out as part of some ritual for Quatlicu. Probably something to do with her birthing of the moon, yeah. Would make sense. She lost her head and from the blood grew snakes. Same deal. Yeah, that would absolutely make sense. If I didn't have a migraine right now, this SCP would actually make me yell in happiness. Because again, mythology is my shit. As you say, I do not know much of Aztec culture, nor did my partners. We know enough of the pictographs to reach into and alter the web of the snake stone. Most of the groundwork was already laid by the revolutionaries. What we did was to add exclamation marks to the alteration, as it were. More matter or a more aggressive snake. From scratch. All we did was move the portal from the sculpted mouth to the location near the elected president of the American Empire. Hold on. From what I gather, the government had tried to destroy it but couldn't. You all had a way past that to add your carvings? Oh, sorry, I was unclear. We did that as well. A general practice runic reinforcement unrelated to the functioning, simply there as a precaution if the US should succeed in snatching it from us, as indeed they did. You Yankees were always superb at burglary. And actually I'm Canadian. You are? Good for you. Thank you. So is that it then? From a little ceremonial anomaly to moon-dwelling national security threat? Oh, little snake stone, all grown up. I believe that's everything then. Thank you very much for your cooperation, and here's something for your coffee. My pleasure, Doctor. I need to reimburse. I need no reimbursement. It is reward enough to be able to tell someone about this after all these years. Although, should you or the Americans ever manage to recover their snake stone, please let me see it. I think I may be able to bypass our runic barrier. That will actually be good. Yeah, that might be a smart. Oh, it makes it worse. Why would you do that? When we crafted this snake stone, we were young and idealistic. We thought we could win the Cold War ourselves. Decapitated the American Empire. We thought we could be heroes. Simply put, the day I realized that if the president were eaten by a giant snake from the moon, it would just be more trouble than it's worth. Good day to you, Doctor. Hey, at least somebody who created an SCP who was realizing, hey man, I just now realize how much paperwork, how much explanation, and how much attention I would get if somebody were to find out that this was connected with me. I'd rather not have that. I'll help you out for free. Just this SCP is no. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It's connected to mythology. It's connected to Aztec mythology, which is, by the way, very beautiful mythology. Honestly, very cool stuff in there. Although you probably wouldn't like it because there's a lot of snakes. There's the moon. We have a interview that actually is quite nice. Not the same as John yesterday. John yesterday is unbeatable when it comes to how nice he is in the interview, but it's I don't see why you would say it's no fun. I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. I think it's lovely.